It is better to have a lion at the head of an army of sheep than a sheep at the head of an army of lions. Expect nothing, and you'll always be surprised. The soul is placed in the body like a rough diamond, and it must be polished, or the luster of it will never appear. All our discontents about what we want appeared to me to spring from the want of thankfulness for what we have. One mischief always introduces another. Necessity makes an honest man a knave. The misuse of material possessions is often the surest path to the greatest misery. Friends are good if well chosen. To be troubled in the trouble is to have your trouble doubled. Necessity sharpens ingenuity. It doesn't matter from whence you came from. Be yourself. Tears never stop misery. Fear of danger is 10,000 times more terrifying than danger itself when apparent to the eyes, and we find the burden of anxiety greater by much than the evil which we are anxious about. Power in abundance always breeds strife. There are many people who are calling out to punish the guilty, but very few are concerned about clearing the innocent. Today we love what tomorrow we hate. Today we seek what tomorrow we shun. Today we desire what tomorrow we fear. Nay, even tremble at the apprehensions of. It is never too late to be wise. Those people cannot comfortably enjoy what God has given them because they see and covet what He has not given them. To commit foolishness is the lot of youth, as the lot of people of mature age, wise with dearly bought experience, to condemn the recklessness of youth. Vice came in always at the door of necessity, not at the door of inclination. Justice is always violence to the offending party, for every man is innocent in his own eyes. He that hath truth on his side is a fool as well as a coward, if he is afraid to own it because of other men's opinions. Law is but a heathen word for power. Nature has left this tincture in the blood, that all men would be tyrants if they could. The height of human wisdom is to bring our tempers down to our circumstances, and to make a calm within under the weight of the greatest storm without. It is very strange that men should be so fond of being wickeder than they are. All evils are to be considered with the good that is in them, and with what worse attends them. You should be giving an account of what was, not of what ought or ought not to be. Not every good scientist is capable of being a teacher, because the art of teaching has nothing to do with knowledge of the subject being studied. Let greed be the root of evil, But poverty, in my opinion, is a real trap. The best of men cannot defend their fate. The good die early, the bad die late. Fear is a disease that relaxes the soul, just as a physical illness relaxes the body. It is unbearable for people to realize themselves more unhappy than those around them, and they involuntarily strive for everyone around them to be as unhappy and unhealthy as they are. Whoever has a cat cannot be afraid of loneliness. It is impossible to deceive the person whom others are afraid of losing. Become valuable to people and to yourself. Man is a short-sighted creature, sees but a very little way before him, and as his passions are none of his best friends, so his particular affections are generally his worst counselors. What is salvation for one destroys another. Self-destruction is the effect of cowardice in the highest extreme. The main signal to end the friendship is that your friend is never tormented by conscience. This shows a vile person. We never know how to ponder the true state of our situation until we see how it can get worse, nor do we know how to value what we have until we lose it. Often the longing for one lost joy can darken all the other pleasures of the world. Never trust a person who talks about all his problems, but hides all his joys from you. There is something comforting to be found in every situation, if you search well. Who complains of fatigue if he knows he is working for the conquest of his own freedom? She is always married too soon who gets a bad husband, and she is never married too late who gets a good one. None of the people are lazy. They just lack the clarity of life. A life as varied as few will be seen in the world, that started off crazy and ended much better than you ever expected.